Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, in one of our previous video here on this Punchline, we discussed the issue of Hustler Fund, and we agreed it was clear that this program was meant to impoverish Kenyans, to an extent of even sending some people into jail in case they default this loan. And finally, the Hustler Fund will be rolled next month. We are just counting days.
About the representation of the hustlers, it is not well captured, because if you look at the Regulation 11, that is giving the qualifications of those that will be in the board, there is no hustler that can have the 10 years experience that they mentioned and the qualifications that are mentioned there. We are expecting to see a situation whereby we are going to have a Mama Mboga representing us in the board. We are going to have a border person representing us in the board. But looking at the regulations that you've been given today, it is a contravention of what you've been expecting, because we're expecting to have a Mama Mboga benefiting from this and at the same time representing us even the decision making of the fund that we have.
And this is what you need to know about the Hustlers Fund. Hustlers Fund minimum loan set at 500 Kenyan shillings, maximum 50,000 Kenyan shillings, determined by borrower's credit score. Interest rate capped at 8% yearly on a pro-rated basis. 500 shillings. That is the minimum you can borrow. And then 50,000 shillings maximum. You cannot go beyond that. Remember, what you need to know also is that borrowing this money, you need to be in a registered groups. Being in a registered group, for you to register that group, maybe you need around 1,000 shillings, I think, to register a group for you to get a certificate. And in those groups, you will find mainly, at least you need to have maybe 15 people or 20 to form that group. And then it will be registered. Utumie elfu moja ku register group, and then you borrow 500 shillings as minimum. Then the highest is only 50,000. Kenyans, this is the truth. These people want Kenyans to remain poor, to be controlled easily during the 2017 general election, when they will be campaigning through the handouts. So this Hustlers Fund is designed to make people remain at a certain poverty line. Let me tell you, if they were to have the fourth world, I think Kenya will be part of that group. That is the direction Ruto is taking Kenyans into. He knows that he's going to make a lot of messes here and there, and it will be very hard for him to campaign in the next general election. So keep people poor, so that when you come out with the handout, they will see you as a Messiah, bringing something to their side. And you will confuse and convince them to vote with you again. I'm saying this because people think that the issue of bottom-up has been brought by William Ruto. It is not true. This bottom-up existed a long time ago when President Uhuru Kenyatta came to power. There was such kind of a program that was helping Kenyans. And I want to take you to the issue of Uwezo Fund. For your information, the minimum you can borrow from Uwezo Fund was 50,000. Maximum was 100,000. So it is Ruto who made the issue of bottom up to look new to Kenyans. Because it's a good orator, people would be convinced. But I want us to check on Uwezo Fund, their website. Welcome to Weather Fund website. Weather Fund is a flagship program for Vision 2030 aimed at enabling women, youth, and persons with disability access finance to promote business and enterprises at the constituency level, thereby enhancing economic growth towards the realization of the same and the suitability development goal number 1, eradicate extreme poverty and hunger, and 3, promote gender equality and empower women. The fund is highly developed and adopted to concept of bottom-up approach with the decision-making done at the grassroots level. Clear? The fund was established via legal notice number 21 of the 21st February 2014 Public Finance Management Weather Fund Regulations 2014, and was launched by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya on 8 September 2013. Since the inception, the fund has disbursed more than 7.2 billion shillings and directly supported 1,124,211 beneficiaries, of which 69% are female and 31 male, through provision of affordable and accessible credit, capacity building on entrepreneurship skill, basic on bookkeeping and market linkage and networking. It continues, but let us just stop there. So that is Weather Fund. You can see it is very clear. This was a program that was to help the poor of the poorest in our society. People who is calling Mama Mboga, Boda Boda, the hustler, those welders, the mercenaries, the carpenters, the electricians on the ground who are trying to do their own business. This is the money they used to borrow and then just work out their business. So people thought that when Ruto was coming to power with his hustler thing, definitely he was going to improve on the weather fund to make it more accessible and increase it from the maximum of 100,000 to maybe 200 or 300,000, and make a minimum at least to 70,000. But what we are receiving, actually, it is hot air. From a minimum of 50,000, he's bringing it to a minimum of 500 shillings. In this economy we are in now, what can you use for 500 even if you borrow? The failing economy we are in now, what can 500 do if you borrow? What profit will it bring? Weather fund, he did not have any interest rate. Now, we have the hustler fund which has 8% interest rate. These people are in business. They are not just here to offer service to Kenyans. They are not here to help the poor. They are here to impoverish you and even kill your future dream when you could think of maybe moving from one line to another, you improve on your life. It is going to be difficult if you are going to depend on the government. That's where we are heading to. So, if this was the bottom up what I was talking about, then that is the worst. There are so many things we can talk about this issue, but I think I want to use this opportunity just to go through some of the comments from Kenyans in reaction to what Ruto is offering them. Vincent Osano, hustlers were expecting 500,000 limit, but now they are given what Fululiza limit offer. Gacheru wa Kabia, the amount are too low to make an impact on a collapsing economy. There is no SMEs which can borrow 500 and thrive. The lowest should have been 10,000. It's making sense. Kugeiria Adrian Mutai, I have no problem with the lower limit. My issue with the upper limit it could have been higher. William Juma. Whether fund has no interest rate and offers more loan amount, lowest cash 50,000, highest cash 100, why didn't this administration improve on this particular fund to make it better and more accessible instead of introducing another fund that has an interest rate attached to it and a way small disbursement, plus very impunitive measures including jail term? MC Vince, Kibaki inherited a worst scenario, but he did not remind us. In less than a month, we enjoyed free primary education without telling us our economy status or his wheelchair status. Blame game is not the solution. Work for what you promised. Kolo Lubabi Kasalizi, okay. 500 is enough cash to start a business for a hustler. 5 cows in Kajiado. Hey, alternatively, rush to Makueni County, stock a wheelbarrow with more than enough mangoes. Msimu umeanza. Okay. Alfem Zawadi. Whoever took Ruto's promise seriously should be arrested and jailed. He's just saying the truth. Whether fund was 100,000 without interest, no fine or jail term for defaulters, Baba was right and smart.